Well, this guy's a real crackerjack. Welcome back to the channel, and this is Combiner Wars Air Raid. Based on the same mold as Skydive, but I think he pulls it off a lot more successfully. We're going to take a look at the other leg of Superion, working our way up the limbs so far. So stick around, and let's get into part 4 of the Superion series. Hey, welcome back to the channel, TF fans, YouTube fans, anybody else silly enough to be watching me. And as always, this is Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot, and I'm going to ask you to check me out across social media and check out my newest work, Machinery of Man, and my first novel, The Everything Factor. More works coming down the pike. Still working on the stop motion series as well. This is the latest installment of the Superion series. And this is Air Raid. Again, he is part of the G2 box set coming out. You know, the paint apps for him are different. They are what they are. You know, check out images of that one if you want. The Unite Warriors version, again, has some slight paint differences. Like, this gold isn't in the chest of that one. I don't think you have the same color on the top of the head. But, honestly, I like of all three that are out, I like this one the best. I really do. I just think that he pulls off the mold very successfully. So, you know, score one for us that have this version. He is very G1 accurate. Is he perfect? No, but none of these guys are exactly what you would call perfect, but they're good. His gun is exactly the same, except it's white. It's exactly the same as Skydive's. And I mentioned earlier how I put these on Superion's thighs to thicken them out. And in plain mode, I put the two of these on wings for symmetry. And I put two of these on the other plane's wings for symmetry. This is the hand-foot piece. It's, you know, it's a hand-foot piece. It looks like a foot. You fold this up and you turn it over, now it's a gun. And if you flipped out the fingers, and this could go either way to become a thumb, you have a hand. Boom. Paint apps for this guy, I feel like that this is the most robust mix. I feel like the Unite Warriors version has a lot more white. It seems somewhat bland, even though some have liked how the lines, thinner though they may be, have continued on down the plane in that version. I kind of dig the colors on the G2 version for this guy, but they're not, you know, animation accurate. So if you don't mind that, hey, it's still a great figure. It's still a great figure and a great set. If you don't mind that the G2 is colored in G2 colors, hey, go for it. You get them all in one set. It's beautiful. I got this guy, of course, at retail. So looking at the paint apps for him, I'm going to give him a 9. Again, kind of like with Skydive, I'm giving him a 9 because, no, he's not perfect, but he's pretty good. The head sculpt is nice. Again, not perfect at all, but it's nice, you know, and I like it. And again, I'm not going to mistake that it's Air Raid. I like the way that the mold worked out for this guy. Posability, playability, his arms go all the way around, quite nice and tight, a lot better than the shoulders of Skydive. There's a bicep swivel, a nice 90-degree elbow bend, and they're tight. Tolerances on this guy are tight. There is a waist swivel. There's a knee at 90 degrees. There's a thigh swivel. Everything feels good and tight on this guy. His wings, I leave them down, but you can put them up if you are so inclined to have this sort of a look. If you want this sort of a look, why not? And the truth is, I see this and it kind of puts me in the mind of Strafe from the Technobots, you know, who forms part of Computron. Who knows? I've heard the rumors. I've seen the pictures. Could Air Raid make a decent Strafe? Yeah, I think he could. I think he could. But let's focus on Air Raid for who he is. And right now, let's leave his wings down because, to me, it just looks more Aerialbotish. He stands like a champ. You know, his legs splay apart that wide. In plane mode, he's a plane. It is what it is. In arm mode, he has the same possibility as all the other aerial bots do in arm mode, and we've seen a couple of them now if you've watched my earlier videos. And in leg mode, he's a leg. Posability, playability for this guy, again, a 9. Is he, a 9 or 10 at least? Is he perfect? Well, again, no wrist swivel. I don't care about that. You know what? I'm going to actually give it a 10. I'm going to say pain app's 9. I'm going to say posability, playability a 10. This guy's strong. He's a strong aerial bot. And he was one who came out in a wave after the other aerial bot, so he was a lovely surprise when I finally got my hands on him. Transformation for this guy, just like all the other ones, you unpeg the back, you turn the head around. Actually, before we do that, let's leave the back pegged in. And, I'm going to bring these up. Again, I don't know if this is official. I'll put these up. I'll put his legs together and turn it this way. And you can take the hand-foot piece and you could put it in as an arm. But I'm never ever going to have him as an arm. Oh, I guess we should flip this out. Here, let's do him this way as an arm. I'm never ever going to have him as an arm, but you know what? He pegs together nice. He works good as an arm. There's no reason to not have him as an arm if you are so inclined. I want him as a leg. That's what he is to me, and that's what I want him as. But back in robot mode, putting him in plane, just like all the other ones, you unpeg the back, you turn the head around so that the face won't be peeking out at you. It doesn't really matter, I guess, if the face is peeking out at you, though. You bring that up. You take his legs and you split them open. You split them open. You collapse them, just like we did with Skydive. You collapse them, you bring them together, and now you have, you're probably not going to be able to see this, but there are 2 black pegs right here. There's 2 holes right here. And they peg in there. You bring down the tail fins. And again, it's tight. These arms do not swivel back like Skydives do. They just sort of collapse down on themselves, and when they do that, there's a black peg here and a little slot in the arm, and they'll slot on. You just straighten out the wings, and if you want them, if you want them up like this, I guess you could have them up like that. If you want them out like this, you could, and if you want them right down to the side, hey, put them right down to the side. That's what I do. On this guy, because I like them right down by the side, which is going to be fairly close to the body, I like to take that gun, and I like to take Skydive's gun and put them in for symmetry. And I think that looks pretty good. I mean, I know they're different colors, but it looks pretty good. You could always take out that, and if you really wanted to have the hand-foot piece incorporated in this guy, again, you can peg that up under the wing and it's no problem. Or if you really wanted, I guess you could take the hand-foot piece, and there's also a spot up on top, and you could peg it in there. You think that looks good? That looks like a lot of extra weight, and like this thing's going to crash to me, but to each their own. Taking that gun out, now we will put him in leg mode. Oh, and I should point out, on all these guys, these tail fins up here that stick up are soft rubbery plastic. It is what it is. Just be careful with them. I take those and I fold them out. I often like to have them up like this, but you can certainly leave them down, and you can really put it kind of any way you want. Straighten this piece out, and boom, now we have, you want to collapse the nose cone and open the legs slightly so that you can get the combiner peg up. My mistake. And why did that not want to work there? There we go. Combiner peg up, put this piece down bottom, and boom. I will point out, here is Airaid's collector card. At least here in Canada, he came with a collector card. I like this better than Skydive's. It's still pretty dark, but it's not as dark, and it looks okay. So now we have 2 legs. we have that leg, and we have this leg. And again, just as I said with skydive, you could turn them around to give it, some more G1 accuracy. You can do the same here, turn it around. You're going to lose the knee bend in both. But there you go. There are our two Superion legs. We are done with number 4 in this series. We will go on to part number 5, I guess, coming up next. And I will see you inside the videos. Thanks for watching.